Yeah, that's the question. Just how good will it be for us to see or possibly say congratulations to the Super Eagles Team B after the Congo win yesterday evening? I'm just reminiscing if I have to give it to them. But so much to actually talk about on the show. Myself and our guest, he'll be live in the studio, but with time, I think he's not far off. And also, we'll be talking about so many things, the views of Nigerians all over the world, and also our World Cup dream. Really looks like it's in a shaking table without a cup. Now, I'm just thinking, what would it be like Nigeria not being part of the World Cup again? That's consecutively, that's how bad it will be. We'll also be having another guest from home join us, or possibly away from home, that's the word, and that will be from Benin, but I think he's still far off for now. My name is Kizike. Welcome to the Sports Republic show on Voice of People Television, Lagos, Nigeria. So much to serve you. Should I say congratulations to the Super Eagles Team B yesterday after that result? Okay, let me just, benefit of a doubt will not be wrong. Congratulations to the Super Eagles Team B. They won Congo 2-0 in their final Group D match of the 25 African Nations Championship. That's the CHAN. But that encounter we did see took place at the Benjamin Mkapa National Stadium in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. It kicked B. I don't know what changed. That's the question. I don't know what Eric Chell actually did that made sure all of these guys showed resilience, determination, and also to understand that they play for the national team. Both nations had already been eliminated following earlier poor results, but the match provided an opportunity for pride, ranking and a chance to end the tournament with dignity. From the outset, the clash was fiercely contested, with both sides creating scoring chances. However, defensive solidity ensured that the first half ended goalless. Nigeria eventually found the breakthrough when Anas Yusuf struck in the 57th minute to give the Super Eagles the lead. The goal energized the team, who pressed forward with renewed confidence, forcing Congo into defensive errors and then desperate clearances. As Congo chased an equalizer, Nigeria capitalized on counter-attacks. Goal from Sekou Alimi, we did see that one, salvaging the 93rd minute and gave the Super Eagles, I like to say Super Eagles Team B. I don't want to say Super Eagles Team. When I say Super Eagles, it sounds like it's the likes of Osimhen, Lookman, Onyedika, and the rest of that. The Super Eagles Team B. But it would interest you to know that the late goal effectively ended Congo's hope of a comeback, leaving the Congolese side in deep disappointment, big disappointment, as they finished bottom of the group with 2 points. But for Nigeria, the victory brought out consolation in spite of being eliminated due to early losses. The win also lifted the team to a third place in the Group D above Congo. I think that's 300,000 US dollar they will go home, they'll have to go home with. The Super Eagles B had endured a difficult campaign, losing the opener 0-1 to Senegal and suffering a heavy 4-0 loss to Sudan. So let's say those results meant their chances of qualifying for the knockout stage were already extinguished before facing Congo, leaving the team to play for pride. But head coach Eric Chell, he said he noted that the team showed improved character compared to what we did see in the early game they played. Supporters back home expressed mixed feelings. While pleased with the victory, many decried Nigeria's inability to progress further in the continental competition. For Congo, their performance reflected resilience, but the inability to convert chances ultimately cost them nothing but they are out, and Super Eagles of Nigeria also out of that one. But the 2 draws and 1 defeat ensured an early exit from the tournament. With the group stage concluded, Senegal, Sudan advanced to the knockout rounds, leaving Nigeria and Congo to reflect on mixed opportunities. So that's the result about the CHAN. So congratulations to the Super Eagles B, not for any reason, but because they got a goal for themselves. Now also, let's talk about Eric Chell. Let's go to the second one where he's saying a lot. He said, the team showed technical ability in Congo win. And I'm asking a question, what changed? When we saw Eric Chell manage his team from the onset, we knew this set of boys still have to undergo some training session. It was not like they were the best thing for me. I'm not a fan of this set of boys, I'm sorry to say. I might be sounding nasty, but that's just what I feel. That's my opinion. Eric Chell now is insisting their final victory against Congo in the Total Energies African Nations Championship CHAN. The campaign, he said it was a reminder of the Super Eagles' quality, despite failing to make it to the knockout stage in the East Africa. The home-based Super Eagles side bowed out of the CHAN, being co-hosted in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, with the morale boosting 2-0 over Congo. But regardless, I don't know what you make about that result. We are out. Now, let me quote Eric Chell, what he told CAFOnline.com. He said, we showed our technical ability in the last part of the match, but we lost several balls before that. In any case, We played well, our performance was great, and we deserved to win the match. He said, I really feel sorry because our last match was good, but the previous 2 matches had mistakes. We started at high notes, at a high speed, and also at a hard, very, very nice road. But we had a lot of possession. He also added by saying, I don't think my club and my Cubs let me down. The pressure was high on these young players, and they sometimes played scared. But during the last match against Congo that was played yesterday, they played for honor, and that's why they performed well. Well, is Eric Chell supposed to be telling us this? He said, let down doesn't come from winning this match. Our players responded from the previous result, but I'm just looking at the result, and then, I don't know. He said, our deep regret stems from our heavy defeat to Sudan. Now, the game of pride was what we saw yesterday, because the Super Eagles Team B would have left that very tournament without scoring a goal. We played against Sudan. We lost in shambolic manner, 4-0. We played against the Senegalese, who are the holders of the tournament, no doubt. They got it better than the Super Eagles, no problem, because they are the champions for me. But I'm looking at a position where we played a game and then we struggled. So it's a lot for Eric Chell to be doing in that very team. Mouths are waggling, eyebrows are being raised. People are saying Eric Chell is not good enough. Some are saying he's a good coach, but he needs to take a deep breath. I'm not saying a lot of words about Eric Chell, but we see how that goes. Trying to be patient on the show. Let's tell about the Super Eagles news. The camp is open, or will be open by September 1st. Some like to say 1st of September, and that's about the World Cup qualifiers, where we'll be seeing Nigeria play against the Rwanda side, and right after that, we play against South Africa. Whose report do you believe? I'm still looking at that very game, and I'm asking questions. Will Nigeria make it to the World Cup 2026? Time tells. Let's talk about the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF. They've confirmed that the Super Eagles camp will open in Uyo on Monday, September 1st, 2025, as preparation intends begin for the crucial 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Nigeria will face Rwanda in their first game on 6 September at the Gospel Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, before traveling to Bloemfontein to play South Africa at the Free State Stadium on 9 September. Now, the Eagles are under pressure, everybody knows, in the qualifying group. I like to get the table so you see, the Super Eagles table, so you can see for yourself how we are in a very precarious situation. Look at the screen, you can see for yourself, Nigeria, just down the pecking order, how many points? 7 points, 4 games left, match played 6. South Africa, we're just praying to God to help us. It's a God prayer. Nigeria likes to pray a lot, so that they will take that 3 points off. I don't know how you want to work, but time will talk whether they will command that 3 points. But as it be so, South Africa number 1, Rwanda number 2, Benin Republic number 3, before you count Nigeria. Who should have known that Nigeria will just be down right after that? We'll see Lesotho and also Zimbabwe. That's a bad result. Group leaders South Africa have 13 points, with Rwanda and Benin Republic on 8 each, while Lesotho and Zimbabwe follow with 6 and 4 points respectively. Only the group winner, please, you need to know, will qualify automatically for the World Cup, set to be co-hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and that's for 2026. But head coach Eric Chell is expected to announce his squad list in the coming days. The NFF is also finalizing logistics to ensure a smooth camp in Uyo, where focus will fully shift to the qualifiers after Nigeria's recent outing at the African Nations Championship in Tanzania. Nigeria, who missed out of the last World Cup in Qatar, know that maximum points in the remaining 4 matches will be vital if they are to reach the global tournament. Well, we have our guest now virtually joining us all the way from Edo State, Benin to be exact. He's on the show with me today. Good morning, Williams, if you're here. Good morning, great to have you, Williams. I'm waiting for you. Williams, are you here? Talk to me if you're here. Good morning. Well, one believe he's still just somewhere in the studio, but we'll connect with him when the time is right. But away from that news, that's a story about the Super Eagles as it unfolds now. This one is just like a breaking news to say. We've heard about some of the players who could be out of the game. The likes of Semi Ajayi. There's a news about Boniface with Ekong. All of this is just a news to be said, but a bad news for the Super Eagles. Eric Chell is not sleeping well now. That's the truth. He's very worried. He's very worried because you want to go into a game like this, it could be at the detriment of the nation because you're playing against Rwanda. And I said it before on the show, and I will say it again. That's so bad. It saddens my heart to know that you're playing a game against a side and your destiny does not lie on your hands anymore. It lies in the hands of your opponents. So we say Nigeria would win all of their games, 4 games left. while we are preparing, that's the word we, I mean Nigerian to say, while we are preparing, we are also hoping, envisaging, believing that the Super Eagles will play this game with high mentality. But I'm looking at it from one perspective. Who is saying the Rwandans are not preparing well? They come to Nigeria. Can I tell you, a draw would be good for them. So these sides coming to spoil the road for countries like Nigeria. We are not the best in African football, I'll tell you. We are not the best. Three-time African champions. You don't want to go comparison with the Cameroonian side, the Ghanaian side. You want to say, talk about the Egyptian side. So let's just be on this road. I know the Falcons, for the ladies category, they've done so well. 10, you should say 10, WAFCON win. But for the Super Eagles, we are in a very difficult situation. We want to be at the World Cup. Whose report do you believe can we make it to the World Cup? Before we talk about the missing players, the Super Eagles are facing a defensive crisis now. Ahead of the crucial game, where we play Rwanda and South Africa, Nigeria's campaign has already been poor, with only one win from 6 matches under 3 different coaches. That's a bad result, and that has left them at risk of missing a second consecutive World Cup. That's the news. We'll go on a break and we'll return. The show continues. Just please stay with us. So tell them more about the Super Eagles. Whose report do you believe will they make it to the World Cup? Time tells. Please stay with us.
We are the station that brings you stories from the people's perspective.
We let your voice be heard. On Political Lens, we bring you deeper insights into happenings within the polity.
We create equality of representative opinion and fairness in politics, economic and diverse conversations.
Here, we bring you breaking news, fresh perspectives, as well as fact-based analysis.
Watch our extraordinary shows from the People's Voice, where we get to amplify the stories and concerns of everyday Nigerians to hashtag.
To Health Check, where we share practical wellness tips and bring you deep insights from medical professionals.
Maritime Frontiers will dissect issues on port operations and more.
Every time we talk about sport, it's everything that has to do with sport from the top to the finish. Just be with us, stay with us all of the time. We give you sporting activities just as your boat, and that's what we do, and that's what we are called. Voice of the People TV, and you already know.
We got you all covered.
Here, you have more than a voice.
Yes, welcome back from that quick break. You're still watching the Sports Republic show. My name is Kizzy K. This is that show that gives you everything sporting activities, how it comes out. Now, we were talking about Eric Chell before we went on a quick break. Current head coach Eric Chell, the Super Eagles manager, who secured the only victory against Rwanda, will now have to contend with fresh injury setback. Now, we talk about setbacks, not like setback, not one of the players, but more of the players. Now, first choice centre back Simi Ajayi has been ruled out for 6 weeks, while Captain William Troost-Ekong is still regaining fitness after a long-term injury that sidelined him in Saudi Arabia, with Troost-Ekong yet to feature in any pre-season qualifier remains in doubt, raising concerns about defensive stability. In the absence of defender, Chair will likely, of some defenders rally, will likely turn to a mix of younger and less experienced players, including the likes of Chidozima Wazim, Gabriel Oshaw, Benjamin Frederick, and also Igor Obu to partner with Calvin Bassey at the heart of Nigeria defense. Now, looking at this one, I don't know how Eric Chell would do this. Why is this happening now? That's the question. Why is it happening now? I watched Chidozima Wazim play against Paris Saint-Germain in the game they lost 1-0 at home, Nantes. He was very, very fantastic to watch. I think Awazim is a different player now. He should be getting a call up for Eric Chell's team. He should be getting a call up. Gabriel Osha also, Auxerre, not the bad player. Both sides, both players playing the trade in the Ligue 1, in the French league, getting to be starters doing their gameplay. Not a bad one. Brentford, Benjamin Frederick, I just think maybe, he's on loan now away from Brentford. But for Igor Ogbu, he won the league with the Czech side. So Slavia Prague, I feel he should also be getting a call-up. So Calvin Bassey is the man. What happens if we don't play with Trust Ekong? A lot of people said Ekong is no more good. Some say he's not good enough, like he needs to go, he's old, he's not pacey, cannot run. A lot of talks. But that same player you talk about was the best player for the 23 African Nations Cup, where Africa was hosted and then went home with that very tournament. So our skipper, Ekong, is so in doubt for those very one. But for Simi Ajayi, obviously ruled out for this encounter. So Nigeria need to put up something very strong if they want to make it to the next phase, because beating Rwanda, it just would not stop there. You need to win Rwanda, get that hope alive, then go on to play South Africa, and that's right in their home. So when I remember the Nigerian game against South Africa, I used to tell myself that game is it's Nigeria versus a club side. That's what I call it, Nigeria versus a club side. Our players are from different club sides in Europe. Maybe some of the MPFL players might get a call-up, not really a start to say. But I don't know how Eric Chell wants to cook this. I don't know how Eric Chell wants to put things in place. This crisis now would definitely affect him, because I know Eric Chell would like to have Ekong on the start of the game. But that's why you're called a country with quality. Country with quality, country that has players that can represent the nation to a high level. So when you have the Super Eagles play like this, you just have to say, we will make it to the World Cup. But I'm still scared. Looking at the situation where we are right now, then, okay, let's even look at the Super Eagles. That's a Super Eagles picture that we had the other time. Let's get it full so we can talk about some of those players. Let's even look at them and know who can be part of the team. Let's get it full. Yes, if we have that here on that part. The Super Eagles picture, first of all, works for me. So we can look into the players who we have and then begin to, analyze. If need be, we can criticize to say this one should be in the team and this one should not be in the team. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you so much. Yeah. Players. I'm looking at this one, Stanley Wabali. Yeah, definitely we'll get a call to the team. Victor Osimhen, we cannot do without him. I'm sorry to say this, but that's what it is. Simi Ajayi, that's the man. I'm starting from the keeper side. Simi Ajayi is not going to be available. So he's a man out of contention. Calvin Bassey, people are still wondering, how do you play with your shots going down low? In the streets of Lagos, they call it low waist. Some say it is sag. Some like to use the word. So I'm from Fulham, a very quality player. Then Frank Onyeka, yeah. Onyeka, yes, get called up again. And then Ekong. So possibly our both centers, that's like an injury crisis, would not be available for this very encounter because Ekong is still battling with that injury worries. Then you go to the other side, just right by the keeper, just below, Samuel Chukwueze, yeah. I don't know. We'll definitely have to call him, yes, no doubt. Then the other man is Sanusi. He's ruled out of this one. He can't be a Super Eagles player for now, I'm sorry to say. And then Ola Aina, integral part of the national team, plays alongside Samuel, brighter side Samuel from the right row. He could play as a left full back as well. And Alexi will be the only schemer we have in our team, sorry to say. And then Demola Lukman. So we still have Lukman, we have Osimhen. But if your front line is strong and your back line is in shambles, then I don't know how you go from there. We'll still try to connect to Benin to have Williams, if it's just on the sideline, that we can have this talk and look into the national team and see what's next. What is the fate for the Super Eagles? How will they make it to the World Cup? Time tells. We are waiting to know. We've seen a bad outing. Just the bad one recently was a bad one. Yes, this Tanzania game. So please, when you say Super Eagles, call them Super Eagles Team B. If you call them Super Eagles, call the blast now. Osimhen and did that. No. But Williams, if you're here, looking very good today. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm very well. Good morning. How are you?
And if I know, I make a dress like you today.
Oh, okay. I'm looking very different today. I'm wearing a black. But you're looking very nice, actually. How is Benin? I'd like to ask this question. How is Benin?
Benin is fine.
Say normally for me, for sure, I know they ask guests how you do all this time. I know my business, but I like to do it. I want to be very good today. Now, Williams, let's have you talk on the first one. We talked about Eric Chell and his lads. Yesterday, the Super Eagles Team B got it all right. The goal from Yusuf, Anas Yusuf, and also that one from Sikiru Alimi with the header. Good goal for me, our Remo star player, and Ogumodede was just happy. What changed yesterday? What was that thing? What was that one thing Eric Chell did in that team to make sure they picked up that point? Not just the point again, the goal was vital for me.
Yes, yesterday I was watching the match and I didn't think you guys were good like this in the last two matches. would have been better. You understand? But still, he didn't have to lose to crash out of the tournament. But just like the win, just like when the commentator was saying, instead of this win is not necessary for them, it's just to spoil the party. And it was very painful. Do we have to find ourselves in such situation? Very, very bad. But they did well yesterday. Eric Shea is saying that technical issues came to play yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was now asking myself, what's wrong with the technical issue in the last 2 months? Was it that a lot of things were missing? So it is what it is already. The crash out, the best was not good enough. And then what they did yesterday was just like the commentator said, just to spoil the party and to make sure that they don't go home losing everything.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very devastating. And looking at everything surrounding the Super Eagles, bet to wonder if we just do a total overhaul of the team. You understand? We just have too much of a hype players. And the ones that we are supposed to say, okay, run back to, they just disgrace. I will not say disgrace. Just fortunate.
Okay.
Very, very bad. That's
all right. So, Williams, let me ask you this question. You don't sound energetic on the show today, but I don't know why. But let's talk about something in a bit. The Super Eagles Team B, be factual, say the way it is. Do you think any of these boys needs to be called up to the national team? Because this is the best we have, I'm saying. Because they gave us this list. And so for them to play at the CHAN 2024, it means that this is the best Nigeria can afford that applies a trade in the MPFL, Nigeria Premier Football League. Should any of the boys transition to the national team? Are they good enough for you?
I would totally write them off, but I think they need to still go and do more. You can't call them off. Can't call them off now with this their low morale and low attitude of tactical issues. You know, they've not been smart enough. So I can't call them in now to jeopardize our chance of qualification. So I think we need to be open up to people who have seen themselves in serious pressure and go deep and look for, because normally they are the ones that we are supposed to turn up to, but now they didn't turn up. So I don't think we can have them selected for a very crucial qualification match that is upcoming.
Okay, so let's talk about Eric Chell. Let's quickly get on the news where Eric Chell is now banking on experience, maybe, and possibly might be dropping some new players for the crucial qualifier, because right now the head coach of Nigeria has opted against introducing new players to the Super Eagles squad for their upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and South Africa. Moving on, instead, he is sticking with the core group that was featured in the first 5 games in charge, as he looks to maintain continuity and stability. Chell, who has already sent out provisional invitation to about 40 players, will select only 23 for that decisive fixture against Rwanda and South Africa. He reportedly believes that relying on experienced players who are accustomed to high pressure and high pressure situation gives the team the best chance to secure qualification on this doubleheader. The coach also has set his sights on his 6 point or possibly on 6 points from both matches, which could revive Nigeria's qualification hope. Now, Williams, let me tell you, the Super Eagles' chances may also be boosted if FIFA deducts 3 points and 3 goals from group leader South Africa for allegedly fielding in an ineligible player against Lesotho. Williams, come, let me talk to you. Are you among those analysts out there? Are you among those people out there that are praying and hoping that the South Africa will be docked out 3 points? The last thing happened, we know, at 2018, one of our players, I can't recall the name. I think it's a player from the north. I can't recall the name right now. We had that problem, and that point was deducted. Are you among those people praying that FIFA should deduct the point from South Africa? Don't forget, even if that point is docked out from South Africa, it does not go to Nigeria, possibly just Lesotho, if it would go. Now, what is the fate of Nigeria? Looking at the situation, looking at the table, if that point is docked from South Africa, do we still stand a chance to make it to the World Cup 2026?
First of all, I would not want to put that forefront. You need to work for your point. But it is what it is. They fielded an ineligible player, and they have to face the penalty according to the FIFA rule. And if that will favor us, no problem. But still, yes, no problem. It favors us, no problem. But normally, we don't need to be doing those calculations and expecting this to happen before. Why not just win your matches, do it as it's supposed to be? Me as an analyst and also as a Nigerian citizen, I will just have to put hope alive. So, okay, fine, let's get the remaining 6 points and some goals, you understand, so we can qualify. Because if you you never supposed to get a draw or even lose. No, never talk about lose now. Draw is not acceptable in the first place. So they know this will win the remaining 2 months and get at least 6 goals from it. You understand? I said to you one day in this program that this issue of not scoring goals is a problem. You go, you get a goal, and then you are trying to defend that one goal before you know you are already throwing the match. You understand? And that is one of the problems we have been facing since inception, when we are our best midfielders and even attackers. They can't one last of play the quota when they left Caribou West and Finidi George. When they left the team, all back to score just a goal, and then we are trying to protect, so you know there's a drop. Just like what happened the last time, that it's bringing us to this place now that we are not calculating. So I think Nigeria needs to step up, because if we can do even total overhaul of the Super Eagles, because I want to see new faces. People are hungry. We almost stars there. Enugu, Shooting Stars. A lot of our clubs that are doing good. Private phone clubs. A lot of players are doing good. Vendor insurance are there too. But every day I watch and see them trying their trade abroad, traveling to other African countries, because they cannot come and scout them. And then there again, I will ask myself, do the NFL or the Nigeria side, do we even have good scouts? Are they even going around to say, okay, let's go and look for players? They must all be calling the foreign-based players who are trying to really protect their foot because of the kind of money they are receiving. And if you want to make sure that they play in their best, then you need to improve their weapon. A lot of things need to be done, and they are not doing it. This is why we always find ourselves here carrying the calculator and say, okay, minus 3 points of South Africa, and then we score 2 goals, and then they want 3 points, they want draw, we qualify. No,
okay, so Williams, while we wait for the list, while we wait for the 23-man list out of 40 provisional lists being sent to players home and away, what names will you be expecting, or what names rather would you not be expecting to see?
To be frank, I would just expect only the 3 front men, Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, and Moses Simon. If they can the rest of them can just relax and give me new face. Because
what do you mean?
Yes.
This game is crucial, bro.
Game. Serious, I'm very serious. Even the Ademola Lookman self, he done that. Even if he's the best African player, he's done another watch. It's not done a lot.
Williams, I want to be an eye opener to you, so you understand. The both games, the doubleheader we are about to embark on now, it's not a mere game. It's a do or die affair. We just have to see. There's no choice. A draw is not an option. We need to win both games because 4 games left. If you win South Africa and draw Rwanda, or possibly win Rwanda and draw South Africa, it doesn't make any sense. Are you asking Eric Shell to go do a trial with a game that we know that this is one game that we have been anticipating for? If you lose this one, then the question is which way Nigeria?
There was a time I saw your status, one young man. I don't want to leave you, but you said
on my status? I was on WhatsApp.
Yes, now. Yes, WhatsApp. Right. If you call that kind of a young man, right. And then there are some boys in boys are in the street, even close to my house. When I'm driving in the evenings, I just park aside and watch young men play football, and I wonder, okay, these are young stars. Who is going to scatter? See, serious, I'm very serious. A lot of players are out there in Nigeria, scattered all around the corners of Nigeria. In football clubs, and then so see, we really need to do a lot. Why we are trying to make sure that we have stars. There are stars all over. Scout them. You understand? That's why I just know that if you give me the opportunity, I will just rule out the remainder of them. Just to see where Ademola Lookman and Moses Simon will there, and I will bring in.
Okay, so
and I can get them.
Okay, now sounding very cool from you, though. That's your opinion. You talked about Lookman. Let's talk about Lookman now. Let's really talk about Lookman. Everything is not all right for Ademola Lookman. Not long we talked about the statement released. Pekasi, the chairman or the president of the club, said a lot. But right now, Ademola Lookman has resumed training with Atalanta after days of absence in an attempt to force a move to Inter Milan. The Nigerian winger publicly accused the club of breaking promises and treating him unfairly as both a player and a person. Inter Milan have since pulled out of the transfer pursuit after failing to reach an agreement with Atalanta. But club CEO Luca Pekasi revealed that Lookman could only leave for top club outside the Serie A. That's Gianpiero Gasperini when they had him. Now, a condition that effectively blocked Inter's approach. Lookman is 27. He's accompanied by his father and a friend and rejoined training, or he was accompanied rather, on Tuesday. He awaits possible sanctions from Atalanta because that one is something that will be done. Something that will be done. And the Serie A side will begin their campaign this weekend with a home clash against newly promoted Pisa. Now, you're talking about Lookman, the CAF best player. He's going through a lot. And let me even tell you, Williams, I think his body, his spirit, soul, and mind does not lie in the Jerry Stadium anymore. He does not want to play with the Lades. He's tired of staying in Bergamo. He spent 3 seasons. He was bought 9.3 million euros from RB Leipzig. And he came to the Serie A and showed the world that, yes, I'm Ademola Lookman. The world needs to know me. He has proven that he's good to go. But the statement from Atalanta is saying, we don't have to sell our best player to arch rivals, even if we will do so with the big money. What's the fate of Lookman? What's next for Ademola? Oh, I think he's off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. Did you hear me? Did you get my question?
Yes, I didn't. The only part I could not get. I didn't get the
So
end part.
I was asking you, what's next for Ademola Lookman? What's next for Lookman? Transfer window is about to close very soon. What's next? What's the fate for Lookman?
His fate is already under the. I see no reason why Atlanta could not handle that transfer between Inter Milan there, because I was expecting to just move to Inter Milan. That is very, very good for they frustrated that transfer because of financial issues and all that. You know, normally Ademola was even worth more than that money. I think it was 45 million or so that they dragged. That is worth more than that. And I've seen no reason why they didn't allow that transfer to go to. But now look at what is on the screen. I would club Santos going to do. Probably they will say he's not going to be starting lineup, and that would be very bad for him. And the major reason why I said is even on my watch list that if he's given a chance to call up player, I'm not calling him up because because his state is only on the balance. He may not be on the starting lineup. And when the player is not on the starting lineup, you say I see no reason why the discipline to Alexander Garnacho. He was not called up by Argentina. Why? Because he has not been with around the transfer. So this the same thing that is happening to Understand? So the earlier the better. You still have close to 14 or 13 days.
Yeah.
He just need to just talk to his agent. Take me to England. Any club from England that I
think he's already doing that. They're having talked to some club side on the England side just to see that possibly he might make a move. But let's go to still on Atlanta news. Let's talk about the Serie A club transfer. Romelu Lukaku sideline. Now let's talk about Napoli and talk about Tolu Arokodare. That's the news we just saw. Breaking us with our sideline for serious preceding injury. Napoli have lost Romelu Lukaku and he'll be out for a while. But Napoli now have turned their attention to transfer market in search of a striker, a possible reliable replacement. Among the shortlisted options, they have Tolu Arokodare. According to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, the Italian champion have already initiated contact with Belgian side KRC Genk to discuss potential terms for the striker. Arokodare is 24 and is valued around 20 to 25 million euro by his representative. Will you advise Tolu Arokodare to go replace Lukaku now that he's off? And when Lukaku returns, what's the fate of Tolu?
That is it. And you know, Antonio Conte is not used to. He's used to having issues with black players. For I really don't know. It's just in between. But I saw the news pop up this morning on my screen, and I was wondering it would have been a good deal, but Napoli, I'm afraid, because the way they treat players is not look at the Osimhen situation. So I would advise him if he has any other option on the table apart from Napoli, he can take it. You know, but for Napoli, if it's really Napoli, then it will be a gamble for him. It will be 50-50. You understand? Not favor him accurately because there's no way you are going to remove Romelu Lukaku from Antonio Conte's mind. They are like 5 or 6. So that guy recover from injury and gets fit. I'm telling you, he will not even hesitate to return him back to the starting lineup, and then that will be all for the Nigerian striker. So I think we should consider other options if it's on the table for him.
So possible idea, possible advice. Tolu Arokodare, no to Napoli, right?
Yes, if there are other options, no to Napoli. But if there are no other options, then it's a gamble, it's a 50-50 for him.
Okay, so let's see how it goes. Now let's talk about one man record-breaking. For the 3rd time, he has won the PFA Players Player Award. Yesterday, we did say that one. He's won it 3 times. Kevin De Bruyne has won it twice. Gareth Bale has won it twice. Ronaldo, Henry, Alan Shearer, you know, Mark Hughes and also Nemanja Vidic, they've all won it twice. But Salah won the PFA Player of the Year award for the 3rd time. That's a record for the Egyptian. I call this man a small god. Looking at his age, and he was given a contract like 2 years with the league winners Liverpool. Now, if you look at Salah's career and what Salah has won, we could flip it so we could see and how much he's won for himself. Salah is very good in what he does off with the bars. Now, in 24-25, he won the Golden Boot. In same season, he won the Playmaker Award, or the Playmaker Award rather, Player of the Year, FWA Footballer of the Year, PFA Player of the Year, or Players Player of the Year, become 3-time PFA Players Player of the Year winner. And that's just what Mo Salah does, and that's what he brings. Tell me about Salah. Are you a fan of Salah? Is it a well-deserved award for you yesterday?
Yes, of course. And then added to this list, if the Premier League side are very smart enough, this young man should be on the Ballon d'Or chart where the top 3 and even possible winning it, because he's done his best. He has paid his dues, taking Liverpool to the highest, winning trophies for them and scoring important goals. So I think he worth it. He really worth it. Winning it back-to-back 3 times straight. He has done it. You can't have Mohamed Salah on the pitch and you're not sure of goal. You understand? So if there's no goal, definitely there's always an assist, and there's no assist. He's always there. It's always turning up. That's why they were quick to give him contract, even when he was trying to say he wants to leave. That's why he saw the way they handled the situation. He saw the way they handled the situation.
Well.
They didn't want to rush him. Yeah, and then he was very okay with how they handled the situation, and they gave him a 2-year contract. And that 2 years contract, sure of starting, you know. So when the 2-year contract runs up, then he's also sure of getting something big that can just relax his career and retire quickly. You know, it's not just like the Isak issue that we're having. You know, his own is even better.
Okay, so Liverpool handled that case very well. But tell me, looking at the way Liverpool happens to be now, the likes of Hugo Ekitike joining the club side, they've got quality in the midfield, McAllister, Gravenberg, Dominic Szoboszlai, quality team. And you look at Mo Salah, you're looking at Hugo, who has come to show the world that, yes, I need to play in this place. They lost Diogo Jota, you know, rest in peace, of blessed memory, and they have Godi Gap. Looking at the way Liverpool plans to play now, so I'm saying that defensive role looks shaky. Konate, Ibrahima, and also Virgil van Dijk. They got a new signing Frimpong from the right. They got Milos Kekes in the left from Bournemouth. Now, who would you say would be Liverpool's best player this season, just for you?
Their first match against Bournemouth, I watched it. A lot of people turned up. But still, you can't take away that Salah touch. It's there. There's always a link between him and the striker.
I know you will say Salah.
And if the striker is off, he's always turning up to get the goal. And that link between him and Ego Ekitike was there. Then the other brilliant, promising player, but for that 2 years, he's still going to reign.
Okay, so let's quickly let you know that we have the PFA Team of the Year 24-25 season. I will let you know the goalkeeper, Martin Stell of Nottingham Forest, the back line of 4 of them, William Saliba of Arsenal, Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool, Gabriel Magalhaes of Arsenal, and also Milos Kekes of Bournemouth, currently playing for Liverpool now, and also Ryan Gravenberch, also on the list, Declan Rice of Arsenal, Mark Alista, the World Cup winner of Liverpool, also making the midfield trio, and then up front, Mo Salah from the right, Chris Wood as the number 9 traditionally, and also we have Alexander Isak just from the left. So that's about the PFA, Team of the Year for 24-25. Now let's talk about Isak. You have on the screen, that's the team. Now let's talk about Isak quickly. Isak released a statement that shocked my mind. I'll get Isak on the list. Isak wants to leave. Isak makes his move, and it's always a talk point. Now looking at what he wrote on social media, on IG to be exact, he said, "I'm proud to be recognized by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the season for 24-25. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates. I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight." So he wasn't at the ceremony last night. This was a message last night he posted out on his Instagram page. He said, "With everything going on, it didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made and the club has known." He said promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. So it doesn't sound like a new one. To now act if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is the best interest of everyone, not just myself. What's the thing about Isaac? What will happen to Isaac? I'm even scared. What will happen to Isaac quickly?
Yes, if you can leave that on the screen, because it says something behind closed door.
Yeah. Agreement. Yeah.
He said
He said I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken.
He said he has been very quiet.
Yeah, that silence
yes,
allows
he has been very quiet. Yeah.
Their own version. Yeah.
Yes, he has not been quiet because they say actions speak louder than voice. And then the agreement behind closed door, Liverpool breached and Newcastle, I think they breached that issue behind closed door. Why did it happen behind closed door? He would have said it openly when the agreement was reached. I think he's also blamed there. And then also the last part of it when he said if I can get it straight now.
Yeah, the last part. Okay,
it's not there anymore.
Okay, go on.
So the issue now is that he's going to be the one affected majorly because you can't fight an establishment. This is a club. I've said it the first time I asked me this question. I said he's going to suffer the burn. You understand me?
Yeah.
The moment you return, so if you cannot handle the transfer before the 13 days remaining, the moment he returns to training, the problem, because I think there's another young man who has stepped up for Newcastle now.
Yeah.
They manage the attack.
But
the attack is capped.
You know, don't even go there. Anyway, he doesn't have a competition. None of these guys can come close. Anthony Gordon played the role.
Yes.
No competition.
Yes, none of them can compete. Yeah, I know. But Anthony Ellican is there. There's one thing you don't understand. You push you aside. It's not difficult. This is a club. They will come together and agree.
I'm not trying to banter you, but I'd like to ask you with this one because we got short time. We need to leave. I'd like to ask you, be sincere with me.
Yes.
Newcastle playing the European competition. Between Newcastle and Isaac, who misses himself more?
They will miss Isaac, but the club decision will. They will miss him more, but the club decision will always stand, even when they are missing him.
I know.
That's you must understand.
I know. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of the show today. All the great time with you. Just a white woman. I love the time with you again. It was great. We could do this another time, right? Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's Williams today, all the way from Edo State, Benin to be exact. He was on the show with me. And it was like, we wanted to do the banter. Everybody knows it's so good. So everybody know who don't find, who don't war, make up now advert. That's what it is. I need to go now. My name is Kizzy K. I am the only football player without a jersey. Don't forget we have the media news coming up next, and tomorrow on the show again. It will be Thursday. I'll be back to give you more sporting news and sport updates. My name is Kizzy K. I'm signing out. Peace.